Hey everybody, welcome back to another Miata video. It's strange saying that since I haven't made videos of this car in a really long time. But anyway, today I have decided to start another project, and some of you may not agree with it, but ultimately I've decided to do it. I picked up this sport bar right there, and it had a bunch of padding wrapped around it, so I'm gonna sand it down, paint it, and then install it. It's a bolt-on. Really doesn't do anything except for looks and kind of a chassis right there, the 2 points chassis strengthener. But I'm not going to track this car, and this is just used for kind of buzzing around town, so really not worried about it. But definitely needs to be sanded down and painted. There's some tape residue on there, and I just went and picked up the missing hardware at the hardware store. So I got this in a package deal with some coilovers and a set of 4 wheels and tires. And I mean, everything was so dirt cheap. I think I paid $100 for everything, so really can't complain. But the guy basically just wanted to give this to me, so I certainly didn't refuse it. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get it out, get some sandpaper, get it sanded down, and start to paint it. So stay tuned. Right, I've got this sanded down, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit the bare spots with some primer, let that dry, and then get this set up, and I'm gonna paint it gloss black. So nothing too fancy, not spending a whole bunch of time on it, but it is sanded very well. It's nice and smooth, so I don't anticipate any problems. Right, I decided to go ahead and give the whole thing a coat of primer back here on my fancy Madam Trash Heap paint booth. Anyway, so it's drying. The other side is dry. This side is just still a little tacky, so I'm gonna let it dry and then start on the black. Got one side done in the black. I'm using this Krylon Fusion just because I actually found it laying around, so that's why I'm using it. So I'll let this dry for probably 20 minutes or so, and then flip it over and paint the other side. All right, on to the back side, or I guess it would be the front side. Give it a coat of paint, let it dry, and then it's ready to install. Back here at the car, while I'm waiting for that the last coat of paint to dry on the bar, I'm gonna go ahead and disassemble this. I know you have to remove the seat belt. I already took the cap off. Need to remove this piece of trim right here. There's several bolts and fasteners that are on here. I've already had all this off when I replaced the top, I guess maybe a couple years ago, year ago, whatever it was. So this is not really gonna be a how-to because there are other videos online. This is just more of a vlog style. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my tools out and remove everything. Fold the seat forward and remove everything, and hopefully this should be installed pretty quickly. This right side is all disassembled, and took the seat belt out. It's all pretty self-explanatory once you get into it. Like I said, there are lots of other videos online about how to do this. So doing so allows full access for the fasteners that you need to install for the bar. So I'm going to go ahead and do the left side over there. All told, this took maybe 3 minutes, so it's pretty simple. And this has been off a bunch of times, and so everything was pretty loose to begin with. All right, well, this is just sitting here right now in its upright position. This is the best place for it to fully dry. I picked it up, it was still a little tacky. Got a couple fingerprints over a couple places, and there's some where the the cardboard stuck right there and over there, but no big deal. I'm gonna let it sit here for a while, and then I can go ahead and just spot sand those areas and touch it up. But this is the best way because I didn't really have any place where I could hang this. That would have been the best way to do it, but actually looks like it fits, which I expected it to. So now we just wait. All right, I've got the bar. Is actually, while it was drying, I decided just to go ahead and attach it. So it's attached, with the exception of the seat belt bolts. They're loose because I need to go ahead and trim these trim panels, stick them in place, and then I can tighten everything down. Mine came with, let's see if you can see it here, here's one right here. Came with these spacers. There were 3 of them stacked on each other, and I don't know why. Other ones I've seen have just had 1 spacer, but I ended up just selecting 1. I don't feel the need to have 3 spacers because it makes the seat belt way too high. So I guess maybe when I put the trim on, I might need to change that, but I do have some options there with those. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these. I know you have to kind of, I'm going to actually do a little research before I trim these, but in order to, sorry, doing this one hand, in order to have everything fit, need to trim away some of this excess. So that's what I'm going to do. Stay tuned. Okay, I've got the driver's side trimmed. It's not that pretty, but there's really not much I can do about it. I use tin snips. That seemed to be the easiest way to cut this thick plastic. So I'm going to go ahead and test fit it. Everything's all bolted up, installed. Did all the trimming. Looks pretty good. Actually, you can't even really see where it was trimmed. The only thing I haven't done is do the touch-ups on the bar, because I got a couple fingerprints and a couple pieces of, you know, cardboard debris that stuck to it. But anyway, I think I'll do that later or maybe another day. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this car for a ride, and I can only imagine that it's probably gonna help the rigidity, because this car was pretty jiggly. It had a lot of cowl shake in it. I know the later NA Miatas came with the strut bar brace that goes on the back. This being a 1990, of course, didn't come with that. So as far as the style bar goes, I know it's not everybody's taste, and a lot of people believe maybe this isn't the safest thing, but you know what, it is what it is. I'm not, like I said before, I don't track this car. This is just nothing but a little project, and since I already had this thing, it was included with the pile of stuff that I talked about earlier, I figured I'd throw it on there. But as far as looks go, I actually do really like it. I think it adds a decent amount of style to the car itself. So I think I'm definitely in the mood for working on this car again. The weather is cooler. I need to keep finish painting it. As you can see, pretty much the hood and the whole other side needs to be painted. I got this side done and the entire back, but I need to take apart that door, put on the new door, and this side has some, you know, dings and scratches and stuff that I need to sand down and fill. So little by little. It would be nice to also get those coilovers installed with the 15x8 wheels. I have to get new tires though, so that'll come down the road. But for now, that'll do it. One more project done on the 1990 Miata. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if you're happy to see more of these Miata videos. Until then, catch you on the flip side.